Hi YouTube, I am going to show you how to use the Autopsy tool. I am going to go through the Autopsy user documentation. So this just goes through how to use Autopsy, starting from how to set it up, to the cases and adding data sources, to automated analysis, and manual analysis, and then reporting. Just so to start off, you can install. I'll put a link in the description to install Autopsy. Um, you can install Autopsy from this link. After installing Autopsy, you can open it and it'll look similar to this. So starting Autopsy, you can create a new case, and Autopsy is used for digital forensics. So you can get further detail on files and audio files, video files, all types of files. So, so we'll just create a sample file. Once Autopsy loads, it will ask you to generate a new hostname based on a data source, which is just adding a data source. So we'll do logical files, and we'll just add a sample case. So after adding the file, we can just click next. We can include timestamps such as modified time, creation time, and access time. Um, this will let you see how often not change when a file is copied, often change when a file is copied, can be changed when the file is open, and then timestamps may have changed when the files were copied to a current location. So by default, it has all this different settings. I like to keep these enabled. The paid version allows you to enable the cyber triage malware scanner, and then Plazo as well, which Plazo is um, it's disabled by default. So it will take a second to load, and then after it loads, it will let you see everything you can do and everything you can look at with the file on the left side of the page. So that's adding a data source, and then we can go into the ingest modules. So ingest modules analyze the data in a data source. They perform all of the analysis of the files and parse their contents. Examples include hash calculation and lookup, keyword searching, and web artifact extraction. Immediately after you add a data source to a case, you will be presented with a dialog to configure the ingest modules to run on it. Once configured, they will run in the background and provide you real-time results when they find relevant information. This page covers the use of ingest modules. Ingest modules are configured to find user content quickly. The ingest modules are grouped into pipelines, and each file goes down the pipeline module by module. A pipeline may have modules in the following order: MD5 hash, MD5 SHA-1, hash calculation, hash lookup, file type ID, open zip files, exit, extraction, add text to keyword index. Multiple pipelines may be running at the same time. By default, two pipelines are running, but you can add more depending on how many cores you have on your system. You can configure the number of pipelines to make it the tools options general area. Autopsy prioritizes user content over other types of files and will send data from the document and settings folder of users folder or users folder in the pipelines before the Windows folder. It prioritizes each folder in the system to ensure that user content is analyzed before other content. Um, there are two ways to start ingest modules. Immediately after you add the data source, or by right-clicking on a data source from the tree in the main interface and choosing Run Ingest Modules. So we configured all of the ingest modules that were enabled by default, and then we will run through the different types of modules. So ingest modules run in the background. An ingest module can provide you results in a variety of ways, but we recommend specific methods. If they post results to the Blackboard, then you will find them in the results area of the tree in the main interface. They can send a message to the ingest module so that you can get a message each time something really important is found. If the module is a wrapper around another forensics tool, they may simply provide a link to the output of that tool, in which case you will see a new entry in the reports area of the tree. Recent activity module. So recent activity module will show up on results show up in the tree under extracted content. So our file is still loading, so we'll see that in a second. So this is our data source, this is our file, and we have 8 different files. We can analyze them here, and then inside we have additional information. So 37 files inside the one folder. When we click on the folder, we can see the folder. It'll tells us the modified time, change time, access time, created time, size, location, MD5 hash, SHA-256 hash, MIME type, and extension. And then we could do things like add a file tag, which is useful if you want to go back to a file. I'll talk about that later. So the hash database lookup module calculates MD5 hash values for files and looks up hash values in a database to determine if the file is known bad, known in general, or unknown. The hash database system window is where you can set and update your hash database information. Hash databases are used to identify files that are known. Known good files are those that can be safely ignored. This set of files frequently includes standard OS and application files. Ignoring such uninteresting to the investigator files can greatly reduce image analysis time. Known bad, also called notable, files are those that should raise awareness. This set will vary depending on the type of investigation, but common examples include contraband images and malware. Known/bad hash sets. Autopsy allows for multiple known bad hash databases to be set. Autopsy supports the following formats: encase, MD5sum, NSRL, and hashkeeper. Autopsy needs an index of the hash set to actually use a hash database. It can create the index if you import only the hash set. When you select the database from within the window, it will tell you if the index needs to be created. Autopsy uses the hash database management system from the sleuth kit. You can manually create an index using the hfind command line tool, or you can use Autopsy. If you attempt to proceed without indexing a database, Autopsy will offer to automatically produce an index for you. There is an ingest module that will hash the files and look them up in the hash sets. It will flag files that were in the notable hash set, and those files will be shown in the results tree of the tree viewer. Other ingest modules are able to use the known status of a file to decide if they should ignore the file or process it. You can also see the results in the file search window. So we enable this by default, so we can see the hash sets when we go up here. So this is when we see the hash set MD5 and SHA-256 here. The file type ID module identifies files based on their internal signatures and does not rely on file extensions. Autopsy uses the Tika library to do its primary file ID detection, and that can be customized with user-defined rules. You should enable this module because many other modules depend on its results to determine if they should analyze a file. Some examples include extension mismatch detector module and keyword search module. You do not need to configure anything with this module unless you want to define your own types. To define your own types, go to Tools, Options, File Type ID panel. Um, This module does not have obvious impacts in the user interface, though it is used by many other modules. To see the file type of an individual module, view the Results tab in the lower right when you navigate to the file. You should see a page in there that mentions the file type. So here we can see the file type. So and the MIME type as well. The embedded file extractor module opens zip, RAR, other archive formats, doc, and sends the derived files from those files back through the ingest pipeline for analysis. This module expands archive files to enable Autopsy to analyze all files on the system. It enables keyword search and hash lookup to analyze files inside of archives. Certain media content inside might not be extracted. So this module just allows us to unzip archive files. So we had a zip file and it allowed us to unzip it and look deeper into this file. The EXIF parser module extracts EXIF information from ingested pictures. This information can contain geolocation data for the picture, time, date, camera model, and settings, and other information. The discovered attributes are added to the blackboard. This can tell you where and when a picture was taken and give clues to the camera that took it. The keyword search module facilitates both the ingest portion of searching and also supports manual text searching after ingest has completed. It extracts text from the files being ingested and adds them to a Solar index that can be searched. Autopsy tries its best to extract the maximum amount of text from the files being indexed. First, the indexing will try to extract text from supported file formats such as pure text file format, MS Office documents, PDF files, email, and many others. If the file is not supported by the standard text extractor, Autopsy will fall back to a string extract algorithm. So the keyword search configuration dialog has three tabs, each with its own purpose. The list tab is used to add, remove, or modify keyword search lists. The string extraction tab is used to enable language scripts and extraction type. The general tab is used to configure the ingest timings and display information. The ingest settings for the keyword search module allow the user to enable or disable the specific built-in search expressions, phone numbers, IP addresses, email addresses, and URLs. Using the Advanced button covered below, one can add custom keyword groups. The keyword search bar is used to search for keywords in the manual mode. The existing index will be searched for matching words, phrases, lists, or regular expressions. Individual keyword or regular expressions can be searched using the search text box widget. You can select exact match, substring match, and regular expression match. Lists created using the keyword search configuration dialog can be manually searched by the user by pressing on the keyword list button, selecting the checkboxes corresponding to the list to be searched, and pressing the search button. The results of the keyword list search are shown in the tree as shown below. The keyword search module will save the search results regardless whether the search is performed by the ingest process or manually by the user. The saved results are available in the directory tree in the left-hand side panel. To see keyword results in real time while ingest is running, add keyword list using the keyword search configuration dialog and select the use during ingest checkbox. You can select send messages to inbox during ingest per list if the hits on that list should be reported in the inbox, which is recommended for very specific searches. And then there are other modules as well. Autopsy allows you to just you can explore the tools, and Autopsy allows you to configure for greater detailed searches. So you can generate reports or plugins that you can use. And then the tree, we're going to go through the manual analysis. The tree viewer shows the discovered folders by the data source they come from, as well as a list of the files in the folders. It is located on the left side of the autopsy screen. Each folder in the tree on the left shows how many items are contained within it in parentheses after the directory name. See the picture below. So we can see that here. The result viewer is located on the top right of the autopsy screen. It shows lists of files and their corresponding attributes such as time, path, size, checksum. You can also switch to a thumbnail view to see thumbnails of the content in the selected folder. The result viewer is context-aware, meaning it will show applicable columns for the data type selected. The result viewer is located on the top right of the autopsy screen. It shows lists of files and their corresponding attributes such as time, path, size, checksum. You can also switch it to thumbnail view to see thumbnails of the content in the selected folder. The result viewer is context-aware, meaning it will show applicable columns for the data type in selected. The file search tool can be accessed either from the tools menu or by right-clicking on a data source. By using file search, you could specify a filter and show the directories and files that you want to see from the images in the currently open case. The file search results will be populated in a brand new table result viewer on the right-hand side. The timeline, this document outlines the use of timeline feature of Autopsy. The timeline collects data from multiple data sources and events in the following taxonomy: file system, modified access, created, changed, web activity, web downloads, web cookies, web bookmarks, web history, web searches, miscellaneous messages, GPS routes, location history, calls, emails, recent documents, installed programs, XF metadata, and devices attached. There are two different graphs that the autopsy viewer provides. Each is better suited for a different type of question that the investigator is trying to answer. You can change between the two types in top part of the interface, the counts view and the details view. And then there's more here. And then the final part of this that I want to show you is the tags. You can tag, add a file tag for bookmark, follow up, notable item. And then you can see the tags down here. And this is useful if you want to come back to something and categorize it. And then you can also generate reports. And this just allows for a different view of your data. So this concludes my video. This is just a walkthrough of how to use the autopsy based on the user guide. Hopefully you enjoyed, and like and subscribe.